It sounds like there's the chance that this year, I mean, you spoke about it too, that you're going to be traveling a little bit more or shadowing an opponent South Oregon. I mean, that's an honor that's kind of given to the best corners in the league. How much are you looking forward to that?
I'm always looking forward to a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I would like to call myself one of the best in the game, you know, if not the best. And, you know, like I'm always open to compete. You know, I always want to challenge myself, challenge other people. You know, but ultimately, you know, I just want to do whatever it takes for the team to win because that's what it's all about, winning games.
You said you're not the best. What is it going to take to get there?
No, I didn't say I'm not the best.
Okay, what did you say?
I said one of the best, if not the best.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. So,
That's all good.
but how can you build on the first couple of years of your career?
Say it one more time.
How can you continue to build on the first couple?
Man, I'm just trying to find ways to just keep getting better. Anything that's my strengths, I just keep going over it. You know, EDD, everyday fundamentals, stuff like that, everyday drills, everything like that, and stuff that's my weaknesses. You know, proud myself at getting better at that as well. So, you know, just trying not to get complacent. You know, it's easy to get complacent when you're seeing stuff on social media. You know, just going through life and always having to hear people talk about how you their favorite player and all of that, and you know, I take that. I just keep trying to find ways to get better because I understand that there's a lot of people watching me, you know, especially the youth. That's a huge reason why I do what I do, the youth, everybody who watch me. So, yeah.
You have a lot of positives on social media, but also I'm sure some negative comments too. How does that fuel you?
I mean, I be laughing at a lot of it. You know, I don't know if y'all probably do know this because y'all be on social media as well. I'm one of those type of people, like I laugh at stuff, so like I would respond to it. Like I don't respond to it like in a disrespectful manner. You know what I'm saying? I done got called a PI merchant and I done posted on Twitter laughing at it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, if it was easy, everybody be doing it. Everybody be out here. You know, and I understand that a lot of people just do it just to do it. And at the end of the day, also, I understand there's some people that do it just to get attention. So, you know, sometimes I make people days just off responding to them. You know what I'm saying?
You said it's one of the best, if not the best corners in the NFL. Who is as good or better than you right now? Is there anyone?
I mean, you got a lot. It's a lot of good corners. It's a lot of elite cornerbacks in the NFL for sure. You know what I'm saying? I could name some cornerbacks who are also elite, but I don't know if that's going to really do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Do you look at the schedule?
DJ Reed. Yeah, DJ Reed. Michael Carter as well.
The schedule, early part of the season, there's a bunch of really good talented receivers you're going to go up against, like Ayuk, Hopkins, week 2. Do you look at the schedule and see that lineup of receivers, and what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't really think about it like that. You know, I remember when the schedule came out, I was on Twitch. I was on Twitch streaming still. And I had like a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of viewers. They told me, so we're not going to talk about the schedule. Man, I play the game. If I'm doing anything that's not football related, it's just playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I see stuff on Instagram, like on Twitter, Sauce is going to have to guard these people. But if you really think about it, my first 2 years, I done had to go against elite receivers. You know what I'm saying? That's just what the game is. Pretty much every team have those elite receivers, and it's just we got to go up against them, or they got to come see us. You know what I'm saying? That's what this sport is. You know, competition. Everybody competitor. So, yeah.
What did you think of the guy wearing number 5 out there today? He looked pretty good. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, Garrett? Oh yeah, man. He looked better than the 5. You know what I'm saying? I used to always watch him at Old State. I actually played against him at Cincinnati. You know, so he a dog. You know, and I feel like he's one of the best, if not the best receiver in the league. You know, and this year he really gonna be able to show why he's the best. You know, and this coming from somebody that go up against him every day, and we challenge each other. And honestly, I didn't watch myself grow, and I didn't watch him grow. We both didn't grow together. You know, because the way that we are right now, we wasn't like this when we first got here. You know, no matter what kind of success I had, the defense rookie year, him as the offense rookie year, none of that matters. Like, where we are right now is not what we was a couple years ago. You know, so it's just great to be able to see him keep improving, him be able to see me keep improving. So He a dog.
What do you think of the new guy wearing number 17?
Yeah, he a dog as well. When I first seen him, I just seen a big, like he built. You know what I'm saying? So I know he one of those guys that all he got to do is get the ball. He gonna make something happen with it. So he looking good out there as well. And that goes for all of the rookies, all of the guys who is either drafted and the undrafted guys. All of them out there looking good. Any way I can help them, I'm making sure I help them. All of them just flying around. If they making a mistake, they making it full speed. So.
Does number 8 look any different to you than he did last summer or spring?
I mean, he probably had the injuries. That's the only thing. Like, that ain't changed. Like, nothing gonna stop him. His arm always been there. His mechanics always there. The injury ain't none of that stop him. He's still that same guy.
Getting back to the traveling with the receiver, have you talked to Ulbrich about that? Has that been like an off-season discussion about you wanting to take on that responsibility?
Yeah, we talked about it like when the season first ended. We talked about it. We were just bouncing around a few ideas, and that was one of the things that came up.
Where is things at with Charvarius Ward after the Super Bowl back and forth?
Me and him never got to talk. The type of person I am, I don't beef. I play football because it's my passion, and I have a bunch of different whys of why I play this game, and one of them is not wanting to get in arguments and be beefing with other guys around the league, especially cornerbacks, because cornerbacks, I feel, it's the hardest position in the league, So, I respect everybody's game, and I respect his game as well. He was just hot at what I said. I don't remember. I think I said the Niners was the better team on paper, and he took that the wrong way back then. But that just was the fact. They was the best. They was the better team on paper, period. But we good. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nothing going on.
A couple more?
What's been your impression of Quantez since you've gotten a chance to spend some time with him?
He a great guy. He always willing to learn. Like I had told him on Twitter, any way I can help him, I'm gonna help him. But I'm learning as well, so we gonna learn together. But anytime he gotta ask me about something, whether it's the coverages, whether it's footwork, how should he play certain things, I'm always there for him. And that goes with the rest of the guys in that room as well.
You said that you and Garrett aren't the same people as you were a couple of years ago. Are you talking about like off the field, on the field, and how kind of has your experience changed in both ways heading into year 3?
No, I was mainly talking about like on the field, like the way that we see everything. Like I just remember we were just two young guys where it's like we were just out there just having fun, doing what we love to do. But now it's one of those things. Of course, we having fun doing what we love to do, but it's like if he sees something that I could work on, he could tell me, hey, I seen you do this. This is why I ran the route this way. If I see him do something different and I'm much closer to the route, I'll be like, yeah, you did this. That's why I was able to get there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we matured in that way, not just feeling like, oh, we got to just beat each other and not make each other better at the same time. Yeah, man, we growing up. I'm going on year 3, and it just feel kind of different. Everybody just looking at me and, I'm helping everybody else out because I just remember it felt like yesterday I was just the one asking DJ, asking everybody, for advice. So, yeah.
What about team expectations? What do you see as the ceiling for this team?
I mean, same as I felt last year. I feel like we can win a championship, Super Bowl. We got the guys, we got the coaches, we got everything we need, the training staff, everything that it takes for us to be able to get to where we want to get to. But like I always say, we can't get too high, can't get too low, keep the main thing. I know y'all probably done heard that 1,000 times. But that's just a fact, Just always staying in the moment, not looking too far ahead, because we know what we got, but in the snap of a finger, it can all be gone, so, yeah.
Sauce, did you stay after practice for a minute with Quantez today, showing him something, footwork, technique?
Oh, yeah.
What were you helping him out with, and why? I think he said that you came up to him and let him know how he was doing it rather than ask, so why did you decide to do that?
I remember the first day I had came back for OTAs, I had missed a day. And when I came back, that's when all the rookies was back. Like, they came the day that I missed. So I just remember all of them asking me stuff, and it just made me have I realized, like, I'm getting a little bit older. But I'm not old at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting, I'm on year 3. So it's like, now it's to the point where every time I'm not in, I'm just watching. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching, and it's like I could see they looking at me a little bit, too. So it's like that's just a great feeling. So I can just be like, hey, I see you did this. You could probably do it like this, and you're gonna be able to come out your breaks faster. Just little things like that. And yeah, he came and talked to me about it was cover 3, and cover 3 is just you got to read more than just one person. It's not man coverage. Sometimes the receivers can get on you a lot faster. So I was just trying to tell him ways so that way he can keep vision, and keep vision on the threats, quarterback, and everything like that. And yeah, he got it down packed now.
This defense has finished in the top 5, continue to get better from each year to year. Just kind of, what do you think the expectation going into this year and those promise for this defense?
It's an exciting group to be a part of. It's an honor to coach these guys because as good as they've been, like no one is happy with the results as of yet. Yeah, statistically we've ended in the top 5, but ultimately winning is how we create a legacy in this league. So until that happens and we win substantial wins and we hold that trophy together, we're not going to be done. So it's a really cool group in that way. Just so driven, so self-motivated. Takes very little nudging by me. They come ready every single day.
Is there anything to the core group of guys staying together? So that this is now another year with DJ, another year with Sauce, Quinnen's back, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Continuity, especially on the back end, is so critical. These guys got to know each other's strengths, their weaknesses, their shortcomings, their superpowers, their kryptonites. They got to know all that. They also have to know how to communicate at the highest level. And some of that communication over time becomes it's just a wink. It's a little hand signal. It's very subtle, and when you get to that level, that's where the really special stuff lives. So, the fact that we have some continuity, that we've had guys that have been here in this system for multiple years now, it's exciting to think where they could take it.
The last time we were in here with you, before the last game, we talked about Bryce Huff. You gave a pretty impassioned speech for him to come back.
Yeah.
What was your feelings when he left the Eagles?
Yeah, I mean, it's always disappointing when you lose a player of that caliber, and I had so much respect for him, not just the player that he is, but the human being that he is, and the impact that he had not only on the field but in our locker room. But absolutely wish him the best. He's gonna do great in Philly. Just hope he doesn't do great when we play him, but he's gonna do amazing, just like he did here.
What's Hassan going to add for you guys now? You also lost JFM, but what's Hassan going to add for you guys now?
A similar element in the fact that he's got just amazing speed, and he's been his level of production is almost unheard of. As far as his sack production, his ability to win on the edge. So he'll add to a critical component to our defensive line. He will.
Will McDonald, just kind of what you've seen from him this spring.
Just a different level of focus, determination. Rookies, they all struggle in some way or another. Some have more success than others, but they all will have an adjustment period to this league. Just the rigors of it, the length of the season, the physicality of it, the speed of the game, all that. So to see him now a little bit more settled, a little bit more focused, deeper understanding of what it takes to be successful in this league, I'm very excited for him.
There were some things that came out of Philly after Reddick got traded about him selling out for sacks. I think was kind of one of the things that I had read. Is there anything to that, or when guys get double-digit sacks every year, it's like, yeah, we'll live with that?
That's a hard question to answer. I think there's a level to all the great pass rushers in this league, in the history of this league, there's an element to they're going to play pass first, and sometimes you live with the bumps in the road that come with that, and I'm not saying he's that type of guy. I haven't been around him enough to know if he's that or not, but he's an amazing player. When that guy gets on the field on third down or passing situations, he is an absolute problem, and he's going to continue to be a problem for us or for other opponents for us. Did I say that right? However that works.
He's only about 240, 245, whereas you had JFM, who was probably 280 higher. Does that change the dynamic at all on first and second down for you? Do you see Reddick as a first and second down guy?
I absolutely see him as a guy that can play every single down. Although he is a little undersized, he's great with leverage, hand placement. He understands how to play the position, both as a pass rusher, obviously from the sack production, but obviously from an edge setting standpoint. And the beauty of it is we have such a diverse group. We've got a Michael Clemens who's just got amazing physicality, toughness, length, size, and all of that. You got Jermaine that he can do it all really well. So, we have guys that have different strengths, weaknesses, and it's up to us as coaches to kind of put them in the best place to be successful. And we will. No, go ahead.
Quantas Stigger's took an unusual path here, no college football. How do you see his role on the team, and how much is there a retraining of instincts from what he was doing in the CFL to the NFL?
I don't know how much retraining there is. I think he's still just training, period. The game is still so new to him. You got to remember he comes into high school, and it was in the midst of COVID, so, didn't play a ton of high school football, and because of that, wasn't really recruited highly. And also there's some circumstances that went on at high school, if you guys know his story. Obviously, he goes to college, never really has a college experience. I mean, he's there for just a couple weeks before the passing of his father. And, so between the fan run league, a short high school career, and CFL, we're starting with a blank slate. The kid's approach to this, though, it's amazing because you'd think that he's played 10 years, the way he carries himself, the student of the game that he is. He really, and I know this gets thrown around a lot, but he has that will of, he will not fail. He's been through so much in his life. He's overcome. He's such amazing attitude. It's, it either breaks you or it makes you, just strength that is so unique and uncommon, and he embodies that. So what role he'll have, it's so early to tell. Who knows? There's so much room to grow for him. And I'll say this, though, his approach and the skill set, the physical skill set that he has, gives him an opportunity to be a contributor right away.
When he got drafted, the team put out a video calls, and you were calling him, and you were getting choked up.
Yeah.
What was it that resonated with you, I guess?
I just, it's just an amazing story of overcoming, and when you get to know the kid, you become a champion of him, and you just want him to succeed. And as you guys get to know him better, I'm sure you'll feel the same way. He just has a level of humility and grace about him that is just unique, in this day and age. So he's a guy you pull for.
So when you're weighing in character, looking at players in the draft, how do you weigh in the character and also football players?
It all matters, it all matters. And the beauty of Joe Douglas and his staff is he is not, in my opinion, compromised on that ever. We've never chased talent to the point where we've disregarded the character. The character has always been a major part of the evaluation process. So, and because of that, I'll never do it another way. Now that I've done it this way with Joe and his staff and Coach Saleh, obviously, too. But it's such a joy to come to work because the character of the locker room and the men that you get to coach, and they're so willing to do whatever it takes to get better and win. And we have such a group that is dedicated to not only winning on the field, but really connecting off of the field. And because of that, we have this very unusual bond. We all recognize, acknowledge it's a business. I really believe this locker room, especially from the defensive side of things, because I can only speak for that, they've overcome that it's just a business. And I think there really is an essence of playing for each other. There's an essence of playing for the love of the game, which is unique.
How much time did you get to spend, if any, with Malachi Corley at the Senior Bowl?
A little bit, yeah. It was hard because we had such a big group and everything was so accelerated. But definitely got to see the dog he is, the competitor he is. He is, people throw around style of play a lot, and a lot of times it's fabricated and it's coach talk or it's organization talk. But he really embodies a different style of play than most receivers, especially. He is intensely physical and nasty, and not only wants to beat you, he wants to let you know about it. So it's a guy that brings a lot on the field from a skill set perspective, but also from a demeanor standpoint I think it'll rub off on the entire offense.
Jeff, there were reports in the offseason that the 49ers were interested in you, hiring you. What was your reaction when that came up? Was that something you would have liked to have pursued?
I'm so, it's rare in life that you come to work every day and you love what you do, and you love the organization you do it with, and you love the players that you get to coach, and that's what I have here, and so saying all that, I'm so happy and fulfilled being in this place right now with this team, this roster, and at the same time, my wife loves it, my kids love it, the area that we live in, so to move from here and move on from this opportunity it'd be really, really hard. It'd be difficult.
How do you with here, other side? This is the first time we've seen Aaron, I think, since probably extended time in practice since training camp last year.
Right.
What did you think of him today? Just what have you seen so far?
It's amazing. He has found some sort of fountain of youth, because I don't ever see a different version of him. This is the same guy I saw the last 4 weeks of the season when he was dicing us up in the scout team stuff. So it's he's got something figured out, whatever it is. But it's just, I don't see any velocity off the ball. I don't see a lack of movement. He's got the same personality that pisses you off during the week and then you love on Sundays, you know. So I can't wait to actually get an opportunity to be part of a season with him as opposed to 4 plays.
You flashed at linebacker there.
You see that? My bad calf. It looked bad, didn't it? God. Getting
Jeff,
old.
how do you look at your safety spots now, the spot vacated by Jordan Whitehead? Is that a competition, and what does that put on Tony Adams, obviously, as the returnee there?
First of all, I love Jordan Whitehead to death. I mean, I'm so grateful for everything he gave to this organization and this defense. Embodies everything that we covet on and off the field. Saying that, like, I'm extremely excited about the group. You know, the addition of Chuck Clark back now that he's healthy. We were excited about him going into last year, obviously. The addition of Ashton, another year in the system, just getting better and better and better. And then getting Isaiah Oliver, and we're converting him now to, as of today, to safety, to see what that looks like. And here's a guy with really a corner skill set from the standpoint of movement, cover skills, all those things, but now taking advantage of his intelligence and his ability to communicate and putting him back at the safety position. So, and then the young guys that we've added with Jaden Key and the other young UDFAs. I know that might be the outside narrative. That's not the narrative within this building. We're excited about the group. We really are.
How's it feel to have number 8 back there now?
Great. He's a true professional. He's the leader of our team, and it's fun to have him out there and watch him throw the ball around to those guys and coach them up.
I think what's impressive is not only that he's coming off of the Achilles, but he's also a year older, and there seems to be no drop off at all with him.
He does a great job taking care of his body. That's something that he works on a lot, and you see it going out there and executing today.
What did you like about Corley in the draft?
Run after the catch. I think we can all agree to that. It's a special trait that he has. We got to find a way to get the ball in his hands.
How much different is your everything, your receiver room, your running back, like how much more are you going to be able to do with everything that you have today?
There's a lot of change right now. It's, the very, very beginning, just 2 days into it, and we're getting to know all the guys. We've got a lot of veteran presence, and we just got to kind of figure out all the things that they do well and continue to do that.
But adding a guy like Tyron Smith, just kind of what that does for your offense.
From a leadership role, experience role, I mean, the guy's played a lot of football. He's done a really, really fine job throughout his whole career, and it's great to have a veteran on that left side right now.
You guys spent a lot of time last season rotating offensive linemen. How important is it to find some kind of continuity up there?
You always want continuity. I mean, it's across the board on all offense. I think you look as the season goes on, the healthiest teams are usually hitting their stride and doing very well. So, but you have to always plan for that. So the more that we can mix and match them just for those instances is very important. But at the same time, the longer you can keep the front 5 going together, it's always going to build a strong bond.
How about the idea of them being together training camp? Because obviously there's guys on the side today we saw from the offensive line. Tyron's older, Morgan's older. How important it is for them to get a lot of time together in August?
I think that's always huge. Just like we said, as much as they can play together is very important. But at the same time, we have to develop the other guys to be able to go in at a moment's notice. That's something that we have to be ready to work through.
What did you know about Tyrod Taylor before he came here, and what have you learned about him in a brief time you've had?
I mean, he's a true pro. I mean, he's been great. We brought him in and asked him to do some different things, and I think that he has been spectacular in learning them and jumping full bore into it to try to learn some of those things, and he's embraced it. I remember his first playoff game. I was my first playoff game as a coordinator back in 2017, so known him for a long time and always respected his game.
What do you remember about that game?
I wasn't that high scoring, but we won, so I was happy about that.
Nathaniel, those 2 long shot quarterbacks that you guys signed after the mini camp tryout, they weren't necessarily household names, and you added 2 of them. What did you like about them, and what was that process like?
They came out from mini camp. I thought they did a really fine job picking up the system, executing the system, and from there, it's now growing in the system and being able to pick the defense apart when we have the opportunities and understand how to adjust. So right now it's a major learning process for them as they've come from college.
What was the biggest learning point for you from last season as a coordinator?
I think every year you learn so much. Every single year you learn so many different things. We have to continually always be ready for a lot of changes. I think that was one of the biggest things last year was we faced a lot of change. And I look back at it and it was a great opportunity for a lot of guys to get some valuable experience to create more depth for this year. So I think those were a lot of good things.
It's not hard to prepare for change. It's unexpected. Your hope is you're going to have the same 11 guys all season.
You have to look at it and say change is the norm. You have to treat that as the normal, and if you get the same 11 out there the whole year, that's not normal.
How is Alan Lazard holding up? It's been kind of a rough ride for him since he got here.
He's doing a good job. He has come and he's been around quite a bit. He's a great teacher in the classroom with those guys on the things that we want to accomplish. And he's, up to this point, done a really good job and been able to run some very good routes. Had a couple good ones yesterday, and we just got to keep building on that.
What's the next step for Garrett?
Get a nice rapport with number 8. And he had an awesome catch today, and we just want to get those guys on the same page.
Gibson and Brownlee were two guys that got, I think, more experience last year than maybe you originally anticipated when they arrived. How much did that benefit them this year, and how much have you seen them grow and change this year from last year?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, you can't replace any opportunity to get actual game time, especially as a young player. X helped us out early. Brownlee came in a little bit later, but I think those are all things we can grow on because we can watch the tape and we can help detail those things up. It's everything that we have. We go from year one when you're teaching a system and they just are trying to figure out where to line up and what route they have, to now the details of communication and talking on how to get open and how to work those different concepts. So I think those are very important for those two guys.
What a healthy Mike Williams. What can he do for Aaron?
I mean, Mike's been a very good football player for a long time. He's another guy that we brought in that's got great leadership and a guy that's got a lot of experience. And his vertical threat, his 50-50 ball, those things he's always been very, very good at, and we hope to take advantage of that.
Coach, obviously some potential decisions in the offseason that were being mulled about and then eventually not made. What of any insight do you have into that, and what is your mindset coming into the season with the decisions that were made?
I think it's business as usual. I look at the whole offseason. I was involved in every single conversation, and it was great. And I think having Robert around, being able to work with him has been very good for our offense.
Do you feel like Robert still has full confidence in you?
Yes.
Was he involved more in the offense?
He's just been around a bunch, and it's great when you have that defensive perspective in there to kind of tell you some more extra rules, ways that you can attack. So we spice some things up versus our defense and kind of test them out. So it's fun.
When you say you were involved in all those conversations, Nate, I just want to make clear there's been various reports of what those were, like the people that are talking. Clearly,
this is what I would tell you. I don't know what those reports are, and I don't know where those sources came from. I know what happened with us, and it was great. We had a lot of conversations, got to talk with a lot of different people, and it's that simple. It's already been addressed.
But you talked to guys that were basically interviewing for a job here, right?
We had a lot of changes, so we were talking to a lot of people.